Hey y'all, how about we make a low carb meatloaf? I love meatloaf just like everybody else does, but all those fillers and stuff have a lot of carbs in them, so we're going to make it without it. And I'm going to show you what you're going to need. I got 2 pounds of 85/15 ground beef. And then I've got some ground pork. You can do it with just beef if you want to, but sometimes it's a little bit drier. The pork has more fat in it and it just makes it moister. This is my way of doing it. You can do it any which way you want to. Some people put veal in it. Instead of using breadcrumbs, I'm going to use Carb Quick. I've got some Italian seasoning. I got an onion. I'm going to put some Parmesan cheese in there. Some garlic powder, pink Himalayan sea salt. I got 2 eggs. Got my famous old pepper the hell out of it grinder. And I got my chopper from 1989. And we're going to get started. All right, y'all. Get your big ass plastic bowl, because that's what we're going to put this in. These are them easy open things. There ain't nothing but easy open on any of them. I have to cut everything out. So I'm going to spare you from me trying to peel it open, because I can't. We're going to put the ground beef and we're going to put the ground pork in there and mix it up a little bit. Okay, y'all. First thing we're going to do, we're going to chop this onion super fine. I'm not going to make y'all listen to this. I'll just show you when it's done. I went around with a spoon as good as I could and kind of stomped the pork meat into the ground beef. But what I'm really going to have to do is get my hands in there here in a minute after we add all the ingredients so I can feel what we need. The pan I'm going to use ain't nothing fancy. It's just an old grilling pan, and what I do is on the bottom of it, I line it with aluminum foil so it'll catch all the grease and it'll make for easy cleanup. On the top, the grease will run through it, and just so it don't stick, I just squirt it down with a little bit of Pam. Now, while all this is going on and you're getting all this stuff ready, you need to get that oven ready and heated about to 350. And a lot of people add green pepper in here. I don't. Gives me the heartburn. So we're going to add all the ingredients. So we got like 2 pounds of ground beef, 1 pound of ground pork. That was probably a good, decent sized medium to large onion. I'm going to start out and I'm going to pop 2 eggs. Don't get the shell in it like I did. If you do, pick it out. There's another one. Okay, then, if y'all haven't tried this Carb Quick, I'm using it in place of breadcrumbs. This stuff has 90% fewer carbs than regular flour, breadcrumbs, or anything. It's only like 2 carbs per serving, and it's going to be the binder in this. I don't know how much I'm going to need, but what I'm going to start out with is 1 cup. Then, I like to put Parmesan cheese in it too. It's low carb too. I got this jar. Just put your healthy dose in there. Throw a little food line garlic powder. Because meatloaf isn't any good unless you season it and put something in it. A lot of times when I did make meatloaf with the breadcrumbs, I used the Italian kind, so I always put some Italian seasoning in it. This is by McCormick. Put a shot of that in there. Of course, got some pink Himalayan sea salt. Put that in there. And then, of course, I'm pepper the hell out of it. Just because pepper makes everything better. Then, I'm going to wash my hands. Take this jewelry off, and we're going to mix this stuff up. See how it feels. I mean, we may need another egg. We may need some more Carb Quick. But I don't know. I can't feel it unless I got my fingers in it. And I'm cooking for my family. I ain't cooking for some cafeteria or restaurant, so it really doesn't even matter. Be back in a flash. Okay, y'all. We're getting in here. I did wind up adding another egg because the two I guess the way to measure that is per pound of meat that you use, whatever it is. If it's ground beef, some people probably could use ground turkey or whatever. But whatever you use and put in here, I'm using 1 egg per pound. So, and it feels pretty good. Now, when you're in here, you really don't want to overwork it too much. You want to just get everything mixed and kind of blended together. Then we're going to pat it in a loaf. And I'm going to put it on my sheet over here. Just about. And get that oven heated up to 350 because that's what you're going to bake it on. Depending on the shape of your loaf, I'm going to do mine like a bread loaf is the way I do. Kind of a squared off thing. And it's going to take about an hour or so is where I'm going to start. But I'll show you here in just a second. Okay, y'all. I get it out of my bowl. And I kind of do it with my hands. And kind of make it loaf-like. Kind of plop it on here. And then I start shaping it. I kind of make the ends kind of square. Like I said, you don't have to use pork. If you just want to use ground beef, that's cool too. Pork adds a little bit more flavor to it. Hell, you can even add some of that Worcestershire Wash Your Sister sauce. If you want to. I didn't tonight, but I have done that before. I might try to make this just a little bit longer and thinner, but you get the idea there. I gotta wash my hands so I can show y'all. Be right back. Okay, y'all, here's what it looks like on the pan. It looks pretty, doesn't it? Pretty loaf there. See the seasonings and stuff in it. We're gonna pop it in the oven on 350 for about, I'm gonna set the timer for 45 minutes, but I think it's gonna take about an hour to cook. Okay, y'all, it actually took like an hour and a half. I put a meat thermometer in it. You want the meat thermometer to get to 160 degrees. And then it's ready to come out and then you want to let it rest. So I've got it out and I let it rest and I'll show you what we got. Isn't that pretty? Let's set it up here. We're going to cut. Okay. I don't know about y'all. I mean, I like the end piece. Some people don't like the end piece. Then I'll put it to the side here so you can see what a real slice of it looks like. Now what I put on top of it, G. Hughes has a sugar-free ketchup, and that's what I put on the top of it. But look at that. That looks pretty good, doesn't it? I just made some green beans to go along with it. Let's see what it tastes like. It's cooled off some. Okay. That's some good meatloaf. And you wouldn't even know that it's low carb at all. It's wonderful. It'd be good with some mashed potatoes, but that wouldn't really be low carb. I actually paired it with some green beans. Some pole beans. Well, there y'all go. So you don't have to sacrifice taste. You can make meatloaf low carb, and it tastes just as good. Low carb is the way I've done things. I've lost 60 pounds over the last year, 100 pounds total. And it's just variety, how you season things. So I appreciate y'all watching. If you try it, let me know how it turned out for you in the comments. And hopefully we'll talk soon. Have a good night. Bye, y'all.